So an incident occurred about 2 or 3 weeks ago where I was leaving work about 7 or 7:15, and I had to go out the eastern side of our campus to the parking lot, and I passed by an apartment, the person who was the candidate whom I knew, but there's a big crowd in there, so I decided to keep on going. When I got to the outside, I felt, because of our weather had changed, it was cold, I forgot my hat and my scarf in my office. So I decided to come back. When I passed by the apartment again, someone called out, "Brother Mario." I turned around, and it was a person who I knew, and she said, "So-and-so had just passed away." So I was quite saddened by it, but at the same time, I extended my sympathies to her. And I asked her, "Would you care to have a prayer at this time?" She said, "That'd be wonderful." So I did express my sympathies to them for the loss of their loved one and asked if they wanted to go into the bedroom to have some prayers said. So prayers were recited out of our pastoral care book, as well as had them add their own prayers. And also when it was finished, to have them trace a sign of the cross on the forehead of the loved one as a sign of Christian solidarity, and let them say what they wanted to say to that person as they were doing that. Something like a final goodbye in a very spiritual sense. So after that was over, moved back into the living room and continued some pastoral care ministry with them, reminiscing about the life of their loved one, which they were very happy to do. And it gave me a chance to refocus myself as a minister of the sick in the presence of the sick and the dying, as well as the families who are left behind grieving. So when it was over, I said my goodbyes, I left, and usually what I had done when I was a pastoral care minister is I would reflect on the particular incident or the event that took place. And I felt that I had provided a pastoral presence in terms of listening and prayerful presence with them. And that's always been a key for me, to provide that kind of an environment for them. So it reconfirmed my identity as a hands-on minister of the sick. Consecrated life has been such as as I identify it, it's living a life as closely to Jesus' life as possible. He is the originator of the consecrated life. That is, he lived the counsels, the vows, evangelical counsels of poverty, chastity, and obedience, and service of the sick and the dying. It's something that he had recommended for followers, not necessarily to everybody that receives the call, let's say, but it's a very distinctive call in a radical way to live Jesus' life as a minister of the sick and the dying. So yes, it's providing many opportunities to experience interaction with other people who are not in a consecrated life, but also who are in the consecrated life, like my community. We do many things together as a community, because that's where the strength of the ministerial life comes from. We're not married, we don't have spouses to go to talk to. We do have members of our community we can talk to. So one of the things I've said to myself is, how am I going to carry on now at this point? Because I've had that experience. One will be to continue to live my role as a vicar delegate, but also to, when the opportunity presents itself, to be able to respond to instances when God may be calling me, as I feel he did that instance I described for you, to respond to that and experience that aspect of the Camillian life, which is basic to all ministers of the sick. And also, I do recall something my former program director gave me some advice way in the beginning. He said, no matter what role you play, no matter what you do in the order, and there are many, many roles you can play, that you never forget or lose the identity as minister of the sick. So wherever you go, whatever you do, you carry that identity with you. So this is basically my life as a consecrated person. It's not for everyone, as I was told at the beginning, but it's something that has appealed to me, and I feel I've grown in that role over time.